What's going on, people? Welcome to Throwdown, episode 74. I'm your host, Tony Polanco, and tonight I'm joined by Emilio Lopez.
Sup, people? How y'all doing?
Chris Seeley.
Hey, what's up, everyone?
And joining us once again, Mr. Alex Nuss from Junkie Monkeys.
How you doing, everybody?
All right, people, we're back again. Crazy week. I had the show notes for this show ready on Tuesday. That's how nuts it was. So we got a lot of shit to cover. But before we do that, Alex, man, besides having you on because you're a cool dude, I wanted you here tonight because you got some shit to show the people. So what's this all about?
So basically, let me share my screen here.
Yeah, share that screen.
Entire screen. Share.
All right, and while you do that, I will tweet the show out for the people. All right, so yes, what is this?
So this is a comic book. Well, I can't call it a manga because the weeaboos attacked me.
Nigga, you ain't Japanese. You can't call it a manga.
But this is a comic book I've been working on for like about 4 or 5 years now. I've pretty much been writing the story. About a year ago, I'm like, I'm going to look out for an artist. And basically, it's a complete parody of manga and anime. And it's about like a 10-year-old boy, he gets a pet, he goes on an adventure, there's elements and all that. And, it's called Time Skippers, as you can see. And basically, it already released. You can check it out on junkiemonkeys.com. And you can, right here, this is pretty much it. And, I want to make this a full thing. I want to make it a whole anime, but, I need a following to do all that, so.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's why we're here, to help you get some experience. Hey, I'm double now. You need to stop this shit. Yeah, and I like the art too. That was pretty good too, man.
Oh yeah, she's really good. It's like based on Fairy Tail, which is actually was the manga that actually made me decide to start parodying manga in general. So it's just kind of funny how it worked out.
So it's not just you involved in this then?
No, actually, let me share a screen and show you the whole credits real quick.
Yeah. Let us know who's involved in this. Because it seems like a pretty involved production, which is pretty dope.
So the original concept was actually because my friend Ryan, he brought in Fairy Tail, the first book, to school, and me and Roberto were just making fun of him. We're like, well, why are you reading that? It's all the same thing. It's about a 10-year-old boy with blue hair, all that. Then I'm like, wait, did we just make a cool story? And then so I decided, I'm actually going to write this. And for the past 4 years, I've actually been writing this thing. It's 200 pages now of just pure it's just, I write it in novel format. I have to convert it to comic format. And Jeff Treasy, aka he's been editing it for me, and Carla did the art. And my friend he started up a logo company. He did this for me too. He created the logo right here.
That's awesome.
That's just crazy how much work it goes into just one issue of the manga. Well, comic book.
Yeah.
Yep.
Manny, I'm pretty sure you know about that, man.
Oh yeah, it's a lot of that's part of the reason why you split up the process to a bunch of different people, because you want to you also want to keep it rolling, so you can concentrate on the things that you want to have to concentrate on, and you have your other guys that you trust to do the other portions of the work. Yeah, and it can take a while. Sometimes, in general, for at least for professional comics I work in, it takes about a month to get everything together. Sometimes, of course, things get late, something happens.
Yeah. So obviously we're gonna have a link in there for the people to check out and stuff, and that's pretty cool, man. Thank you for sharing that with us.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
Yeah, and Manny, what's going on with you and your move-ins, man? How have you been settling in?
Pretty good. We have most of my living room is all pretty much done. Most of my books are all put away. The only room that needs the most work on is actually this room that I'm actually in right now, which is my office. Yeah, Jossie's over there, and what's going to happen is I'm going to be switching the side of it, and you'll just to see my glass shelf in the background and some of my books.
Yo, man, show off them toys.
Yes, so you'll see some stuff on my shelf. Also, guys, don't forget to pick up Spider-Man number 2 with Miles Morales. Me and Kari did the cover for this one. This is the special cover.
Oh,
fucking awesome.
Cool. Yes.
I'd be like, my friend did that.
I actually went to the local comic store over here, which is this place called Brave New Worlds.
Brave New Worlds.
Yeah. Well, they're actually a bit of a chain here in Pennsylvania. So I went there, and I actually had to go to 2 different stores because they were all sold out of our covers. So I'm like,
Oh wow.
we did something good.
Hey, that is good, man. They sold out,
Also, wanted to show you guys this,
Yes.
which is the Kojima Productions premium box. It's essentially they had like a pre-order for it, maybe it's end December or something like that. And what it is it's pretty much a bunch of Kojima Productions, the new Kojima Productions swag. So on the first page, when you first open it up, you get this little thing. You can't really read it, but it literally is the same thing that's on the website. It's like,
It's like a war memorial.
yeah, it's like those who play, we are those who play and stuff like that. And then inside, you open it up, and then you see this crazy cup, which is this aluminum cup that comes in. Then, which underneath that is a bunch of shirts. This is just one shirt that I'm going to show you right here. And then inside of it, there's also, if you can see it right here on the top, those are 2 pins, and then on the back there's a bunch of stickers. So it's a nice little thing. I mean, it's a really cool way to kind of to raise money for their studio. They create these little packages, which just they know fans are going to want to pick this stuff and support them. So it's a really cool packaging.
Making something nice for fans and
exactly.
And so you can support them, and then you gain an audience, and you make them nice. Unlike Nintendo, who just sues people if they throw popcorn fires. That's really classy. See, that's how you do it, classy, Nintendo. You might want to take a lesson.
All this stuff that man you show me, to me, it's like, hey, we're not Konami. Fuck those guys. That's what I got.
Yeah, Konami would never doesn't make Konami never. Sir. Konami never made Kojima Production stuff.
They didn't make anything.
They didn't make shit. They didn't even make good Castlevania games the last 2 times. But we're getting a little salty now, aren't we? Fuck that shit. And fuck Nintendo too, but we'll get to them later. So Manny, can anybody buy that stuff?
Yes, you can go onto the Kojima Productions website, and then you literally they have a store there that you can pretty much pick everything up at.
Awesome. Thank you for showing us. That's pretty cool stuff. By the way, tonight's episode of Throwdown is sponsored by Jack Daniels. For fine whiskey drinking, drink Jack Daniels. All right, let's get into it. Ooh, man, like I said, crazy-ass week, so let's jump into it. So, Microsoft, okay, check this out. So, Microsoft had their event last week on Thursday, right? All these Xbox dudes were waiting for some huge megatons, right? We didn't even get a firecracker, nothing, right? It was bunch of shit, basically. Not shit, it's just like, okay, Quantum Break on PC, Gears on PC, nothing major, right? Then, when the embargo lifted, something did come out of that, right? Richard didn't notice the show when he was at the event. Apparently, Microsoft's new plan is to release new versions of the Xbox every couple of years, right? Here's the thing. A lot of Xbox guys were saying, oh no, what this means is they're going to have upgradable parts or whatever you get attached to it. No, read what Phil Spencer said. They go, he basically goes, we have other technologies like PC and smartphones that, update their hardware and they're innovative, right? So that lets you know they want to do that with Xbox, basically. So if they're going to emulate smartphones and PCs, let's just break it down here. It's going to have to be a new Xbox on a yearly basis, right? It's not going to invalidate the older Xboxes, and the newer Xboxes will be able to play the old shit, right? So they're trying to emulate that whole structure, right? And, the main question I want to ask you guys is this a good thing? Because I am still on the fence. It could be, but it could also be a horrible thing. I have my thoughts on it, but I'll jump in later. Jump in. What do you guys think?
I mean, if let's say Halo 7 comes out and I buy my Xbox One that I had since launch, it can play Halo 7 and Halo Xbox 2, Xbox 3, Xbox 4. They all can play Halo, but maybe Xbox 4 has 120 frames per second, but Xbox One only has 30 frames per second. If that's the case, then I don't really have a problem with it. But if they're going to make games only exclusive for this year's Xbox, then next year's Xbox going to have its own exclusive games. That's going to be a problem.
Yeah, but that's they specify that that's not going to be the case. Say if you buy a game now, right? If you buy an Xbox now, right? The games that'll come out for Xbox One Raspberry or whatever they're going to call them, also still work. It's just like PC, right? The games will still work. It's just they're not going to be at 60 frames a second or something, you know?
I don't know, because Brett told us that story on Sunday on Throwdown Your Questions where he's talking about Civilization 5 and that one day just didn't work on his PC.
That's something. Yeah.
Yeah, I always worry about these issues. Okay, so as a developer, what happens? You get these revisions of Xbox every year where the specs are upgraded, right? But you have to make sure that every developer is on the same page and develops for the lowest system, which is the launch system, right?
Yeah.
How are you going to do that? You're going to get the guys go, oh, but this one's so much better, and it's got so many more specs, and it's running maybe an upgrade of DirectX 12. Maybe it's running DirectX 12.2, and the original system is not, and I can take advantage of this API. So if you get someone who does that, especially an indie guy or whatever, then you start getting games that are not backwards compatible. You start running into issues, right? And what is Microsoft going to do? Going to make sure everyone is enforced. You have to develop for the lowest system. Well, then you're not going to get games that really pop, right? Because you're not taking advantage of the newer hardware. You're going to create issues with that. That's the downfall I see in this type of thing.
Yeah, the way Phil Spencer explained it, he goes, it's like, you know how PC has it where you can play Doom and Quake, we can still run stuff at 4K. He says it's going to be something like that, where you can still run your old shit. It's just, you know, but you can still run your new shit at the same time, and it's all in perfect harmony.
But the thing is that you have to, all that stuff has to be tested. You know, especially if it's made for the highest common denominator of the consoles. You always have to test to see if it works on the older ones. As we've seen with a lot of iPhone games, they've wind up like a game like Republic. It had a lot of problems with the later versions of the iPhone, or even lower versions of the iPhone. Like some version, like you couldn't play the game Republic on iPhone 5 most of the way. It would crash all the time. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I mean, the thing is that obviously somebody's going to have some sort of preference, and then you're going to have that sort of thing where it's like, hey, my game doesn't work. It's like, well, go buy a new Xbox.
Yeah, I think fracturing the hardware, the console hardware, is asking for those kind of problems. You're going to start introducing that stuff even though you don't mean to. I'm sure Phil Spencer, you know, that's what they believe. They think, okay, we're going to keep this unified and we're going to enforce that developers should do this, but they're not going to because they don't have to, right? If I can develop a really kick-ass looking game on the latest iteration of Xbox One, what's to stop me? It's still going to get approved, right? It's still going to work. And then somebody who has a launch Xbox is going to fucking lose their mind because they can't play the game. And then you start running into issues because then what's Microsoft's response? Well, you know, we have a new revision of Xbox. Maybe you should buy it. The console gamers will lose their minds at that point.
Yeah, because that's the thing, you know, I kind of want to touch on. This stuff, you know, it works for phones, right? You get a new phone every year, and you expect that, hey, some of the shit that you could run on your older phone will not work on new ones, right? I don't know if console gamers are willing to go down that route. And here's the thing I really want to talk about is Microsoft is muddying what it means to have, because, you know, this is what it goes. Basically, when you have a console, right, you know for a fact every game from launch day to the end is going to work no matter what, right? Because the hardware is locked in, right? If your console is constantly upgrading, right, that kind of erases generations, and it also muddies, you know, what a console is. You know, because the thing is, you know, I know some of you PC guys don't want to hear it, but it's the truth. People buy consoles because they're simple. I mean, I proved it in that video I put out the other day. Put your console in, you turn it on, play your game, you're good, right? PCs are a little bit more complicated. Now the Xbox is trying to be like a PC, you know. That simplicity's gone. Now you got to worry about, okay, I got to buy another Xbox 2 years from now, you know. And then the other thing I want to bring up is the payment plan, right? Because with cell phones, why do people constantly buy $600 phones every 2 years? Because you only have to pay $20 a month. Is Microsoft going to implement something like that? No one's going to be plunking down $300, $400 every year or two, you know, for a new console. That's crazy. No one is going to be doing that shit. So are they going to implement that? You know, I don't know. It just muddies the whole shit to me. You know, like on paper, it makes sense, right? From a business standpoint, it makes sense. Unify everything, you know, release new SKUs and stuff, and we'll be up to date with all of our hardware. That makes sense. But when you see it from the consumer standpoint, kind of doesn't work. And then the ironic thing is, they said they're doing this because of consumers. They're you know, the new slogan is, "You are in the center of it. You consumers are in the center of everything we do." I don't know about that.
Yeah, but I think they're looking at the wrong consumers. If you're looking at the mobile market and expecting the console market to follow the same pattern, it's like there's reasons like that guys play on PC and like maybe prefer PC over a Mac. Maybe I don't want to upgrade my shit every year. Maybe I don't want to upgrade my iPhone every year. I don't want iOS every year. I personally don't like that. And there might be a lot of people who don't, but also console gamers, they're used to having their lock system and they know everything's going to work for 5 years or more, right?
Yeah.
So you start adopting a mobile strategy for consoles and then making it more like PC. That is the most confusing strategy I ever heard of. I don't know why it's not just simpler to look forward to Xbox 2, make that the modular system where you can upgrade parts and stuff eventually as you go down the road. Rethink the system so that it's more modular and maybe a little more PC-like, but also keep in mind that it's still a console, it's still a system, right? It still has to follow certain tenets. It's not a phone, right? So I think they may be looking at consumers, but I certainly don't think they're looking at us.
No, you're 100% right about that. And it's just another one of those things with Microsoft. It's like it seems like they're kind of grasping at straws to see what works and what doesn't. I don't think they have a full game plan. It's like, okay, this doesn't work, change everything. Let's go for this, And I'm just going to address the elephant in the room, right? Why are they doing all this? I know you guys are going to get mad at me, but let's just be real here. Why are they doing this? Because they're fucking losing in the console space. They are getting destroyed by Sony, so they need to, instead of playing by Sony's game, which they're clearly not going to win, they're trying to do this route, right? But I don't think that's going to work, man.
I mean, if you have to buy a new Xbox every year or every whatever it is, like why not just get a PC? Like, what's the difference at that point?
That's what I'm saying. Or in that case, why go with an Xbox, right? What if you like traditional consoles, right? Why not just be like, fuck it, I'm just going to get a PlayStation because I don't have to deal with that bullshit. Yeah, I know if I buy a PS4, every game's gonna work on it all the time, no bullshit.
Yeah, I just don't see how you're gonna justify. Okay, annually you pay $300 or even $400 a year for the next iteration of Xbox, right?
Yeah.
And then try to justify and say, well, you have to pay $2,000 or more for a decent gaming PC, which we know is not true. And then you could upgrade that gaming PC for way less money and over a way longer time. So where's the draw? Where's the draw to that, to buying new Xboxes? That doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, I mean, do you think these guys are honestly thinking to themselves like, hey, they could just buy PCs. It's all an Xbox ecosystem now, right? I hope that's not the case. That's pretty stupid. Not everybody, consoles exist for a reason. Not everybody has that kind of money. Not everybody has that kind of expertise. Not everybody has that kind of patience.
Right.
They're muddying the shit.
Yeah, I think so. And I think for console guys, like, this drives people away from your system. Like, if it becomes too complicated and there's like these upgrade cycles, and then you start having backwards compatibility issues, which you could totally walk that back and go, whoops, well, you know what? Here's the new system if you want to buy it. You're going to drive people to Sony at that point. You're going to drive people to the system that remains actually a console and is not really adopting that PC/mobile strategy. This is really confusing. Like, you cannot have consoles upgrading every year. Like, I just don't see that working.
Yeah, isn't it ironic though? It's like they're doing this in an attempt to beat Sony, but in doing so, they're going to drive more people to Sony. Yeah. Come on, you know how it goes, dude. People don't want to deal with this shit. It's too much,
No, it almost like you split the market, right? Because if I was like that, either I'd say, well, why don't I just get a PC and fuck Xbox, or fuck Xbox, I'm going to PS4. Then you got nobody buying Xbox, so why bother having it? It's silly.
Yeah, and then you combine that with all their games coming out on PC now. Like I said, like, here's the thing. Personally, I think it's actually a good idea for that to happen. Games coming out on PC and Xbox and stuff, crossplay. I think that's a good idea. But at the same time, when you combine it with yearly Xboxes, why not just get the PC version? If you're going to be spending $900 in 3 years, buy a PC instead.
There you go.
It's crazy, man. Manny, getting your thoughts.
Well, I think Chris said it all right there. It's like, it is definitely going to be muddling up everything. But one thing I do think about with a lot of this is that there, like in the past, there were minuscule like changes, like hardware changes that they've done to Xbox and PlayStation, but in that way they weren't really forcing you to kind of go up to the next one. And I feel like in this one, I mean, obviously people are going to want the biggest and the best. So now you're going to have this alternate SKU that's just going to screw everything up. I mean, this is a question for a lot of the fans out there, the Xbox fans out there. Would you sell your beloved Xbox One to buy a newer Xbox every year or two?
Yeah, that's the thing you brought up when we were talking privately. It's like, are Microsoft going to have a plan where you could trade in your old systems?
Exactly. Are they going to do something like that where you can go in and be like, hey, this is my old console. I had it for the thing. I really want to go to the new one. How much do I get for it? So it's like, I'm sure they don't. I'm sure GameStop is going to get something out of it. But even then, what will people? Would anybody want to pick up the older ones? It's a little weird.
Yeah, it's like, who's gonna buy a Galaxy S4 now? It's like it's like, come on, man. And then here's the thing. I know this may sound a little trivial, but it's a problem, right? What about the waste this is gonna create? You're gonna have landfills full of Xboxes now.
I mean, the idea for Chris was like essentially making a modular Xbox. That'd be cool. Where essentially you'd have, but the thing is, you'd still be running into the same problems.
Yeah, you would be. It still goes back to that, Like you said, they promise that all the games are going to work. They're going to be backwards and forwards compatible, right? But that's what they want. I don't think that's what's going to happen. I don't know, man. Microsoft, it just seems very desperate, Like they don't know what the hell to do, so they're trying everything they possibly can to see what does stick, but I don't know. I don't know, so we'll see. We'll see about that. All right, let's move on here. So yeah, some news. A lot of news this week. Uncharted 4 gets laid again the third time. Wah, wah. Where's this shit? Hold on. Is this on? Oh yeah. Yeah, there we go. And here's my thing, right? I don't care if you delay the game, right? For me, it's like, great. Give me breathing room, please. It's the reason they said they delayed it because they don't have enough discs, and they want to, make sure everybody gets their hands on it. Don't we have digital downloads now?
I said the same thing. Like, I saw the article closer that Kristen was talking to me, and I was like, so why wouldn't I just go on PSN and get it? Like, anyone could do that. If you have a PS4, you have PSN, you could get the game. You don't need the disc. I thought that was a silly excuse.
Yeah. If they release it digitally, like a week or two, I don't know how long it was delayed, like 2 weeks before they release it physically, then everyone's going to get it digitally. Then no one's going to go to GameStop and buy it, and GameStop's going to get mad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, fuck GameStop. I want them to die. Like that. That's exactly what I would want. Like, please do that.
To be honest, I'd actually prefer to buy the games from the actual studios rather than from a store.
That would be nice, right? Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's my main gripe. It's not the fact that it got delayed. Like I said, I don't give a shit if it got delayed. It's the excuse. Come on, that's fucking bullshit. Because think about if you're an Uncharted fan, right? You have $60 burning a hole in your pocket, right? Mm-hmm. And you're like, oh, fuck, they don't have it in stores. What are you going to do? Are you going to wait until they get another shipment? No. You're going to buy the shit digitally. You have PlayStation Plus. You want to play with your buddies,
Yeah, I'm not understanding this excuse at all. Because let's say, okay, if you're being honest and you don't have enough disc and you sell out of disc, that means the game's a success. You could press more disc while those discs are running out. And then anybody who really wants the game would just go, screw it, I'll go on PSN and get it. And they'd have the game. There's no way that you can't get the game, right? Like, that just to say preemptively, oh, we have a huge worldwide demand and we don't have enough discs. That is odd to me because you haven't launched it yet. So how do you know that? How do you know? Is it the pre-orders? Like, shit, we can't fulfill all these pre-orders? Like, this isn't clear to me. This statement seems so vague and weird.
Yeah, it smells fishy. Like I said, something is clearly up here. Something's going on, like I said, it's something with development. But here's the thing: people they don't understand my words. Like I said, there's something clearly wrong with development. It's like, how much longer can they develop? It's like, I'm not talking about the development means everything, not just the actual making the game part. You know, everything's involved. So something's going on here. You know, clearly something's going on, but whatever. You know, again, Naughty Dog, you could have came up with a better excuse than that. That's all I'm saying. Oh, it was a weather balloon. It's the same type of excuse. Like, no, bitch, come on now.
Yeah, didn't the game go gold already?
No, not yet, not yet.
I thought it went gold already.
Yeah, that's Quantum Break. That went gold.
Okay.
Oh, fuck it. You know, I'm going to switch roles here. Let's talk about Quantum Break real quick. Alex, you didn't know about this shit.
Yeah, no.
Okay, so apparently the game is going to have, like, you know, correct me if I'm wrong, about 800, like, cutscenes or something, right? They're 20 minutes long each or something, right? Basically, it can't fit on a disc, so if you want to watch the cutscenes, you need to be connected to the internet to watch them, so they can stream to your console.
Oh my god.
Oh man. Yeah, Chris, what do you have to make about that, man? Isn't that insane?
So that's the movie portion of the game, right?
Yeah,
That's
like if you want to watch
TV series part of
if you want to watch
Yeah.
Royals and stuff.
I think that's ridiculous. I just don't understand. Like I thought the whole reason that people were angry at Xbox changed their tune because we don't want always on, always connected things. But yet they require it. It's like, wow, I can't see like what this great part of the game, this part that you've promoted the game with, the biggest part of the hype train is the live action stuff, and you're like, well, you got to be always on to get it.
Yeah.
Why not just make the game 2 discs?
Oh yeah, like fucking Xbox 360.
Or why not add an extra layer to the Blu-ray disc? It's been done before.
Yeah, add a couple layers. You could do that, can't you?
Yeah.
But nope, you got to stream it.
Nobody seems to care how big the day one DLC they launch is either. You could just do that.
Yeah, you can literally just throw a huge day one DLC on top of it, you know.
But yeah, it's pretty silly. It's like, yeah, damn. But the thing is, like, that's Metal Gear shit right there. 20-minute cutscenes, man.
Well, the thing is that it's
a TV series, you know.
It's not really a cutscene. There are cutscenes in the game, but there are also the TV series stuff too. And I'm thinking that's what they want you to be always online for.
Is that actually part of the game? Like, will you see those scenes during the game?
What they are is they just kind of expand the world a little bit. Like you play your main character, and whatever you play as your main character, you see cutscenes. It's Iceman. You see all that stuff. You see the guy who plays Iceman. You'll see all of his cinematics and stuff within the video game. The game universe, and then there's this stuff that explains the villain, which is the TV series.
Okay. So that's completely separate from the game?
It's supposed to be part of the game. Like, you play a certain amount of chapters, then you can watch the TV series. And the TV series thing, I think it's only about 8 episodes, and it dynamically changes depending on the things that you've done in the game.
Yeah. Okay, so check this out. I'm reading it from the article. Shout out to my editor, Matthew Humphreys, who wrote this. So the game's going to have 40 cutscenes, right? And they're all going to total 800 minutes. So that's too much for Blu-ray. So, yeah, that's Metal Gear shit right there, man. So it's apparently after every chapter of the game, you get to watch like a action sequence that lasts about 20 minutes or so, or up to 20 minutes. So basically it's like chapter, episode, chapter, episode, chapter, episode. Isn't that going to kind of fuck up the flow of the game, too?
Yeah, it's almost like you're kind of stopping your game to watch a show.
Yeah, it's like, yo, man, I just want to play.
I wouldn't even bother.
Yeah.
You'll just go offline. Like, who is this guy?
Yeah, there you go. Just turn it offline and just play the game.
Imagine if they tell you can't play this shit offline.
Oh, if they lock you out, people are going to just raise some hell.
Oh, my God. I'd sell my Xbox at that point.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy, but there you go. I mean, we'll see how that works. All right, next thing here. Notice how fast we go through these without Brett.
Because he's like, what?
He's like, Brett, like, I need to tell you a story real quick, Because what do you have? You have 3 New York guys, and then Alex is a New Jerseyan, and he's almost a New Yorker. So, we get to...
I'm closer to Philly. No,
Oh, you're,
I'm
okay.
I'm
That's where
from
Manny
New York
lives
now.
now.
Yo, man, let's hang out. I live in Abington.
I love how fast Alex was quick to distance himself from being in New Jersey.
I hate New York. No. I'm cool in New Jersey. I hate New York.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, Alex. Oh, man. Okay, so PlayStation firmware update 3.50 is coming, right? Bunch of cool shit is coming forward. I want to get to the part I'm most excited about. PC and Mac remote play. That's fucking huge, dude. That is significant. Manny, I know you're pretty excited about this.
The first question I asked, does that mean we're going to get a proper PlayStation 4 controller driver for the PC?
Yes. That's what I'm interested in. You know, because we have drivers now. They're unofficial, though.
Yeah. Essentially, the way the driver was made by some, a programmer who's really smart and stuff. But essentially, what it does is it essentially creates a fake port for your PlayStation controller, and it works all the way the thing's going. Because what happens if you ever try using your PlayStation 4 controller on any of the Steam games, it won't work right. All the buttons are all distorted and weird. For some reason it sticks you in a spin mode. For some reason the triggers are different shape. They're different buttons entirely. So hopefully this means that you will get a nice driver for the PC.
Yeah, that's what I want, because here's the thing. Basically, remember, you have the touchpad, right? You have the gyro shit. You have rumble support. None of that is in there right now with the unofficial drivers. So hopefully, if they have official drivers, that'll alleviate that, which will be great. But what are some of the other benefits of this? Manny, for you specifically, because you're the guy that works on your PC all the time, would you prefer to actually play a PlayStation game, with your actual screen there, or what?
I mean, here's the thing.
I asked you this because you always play your Vita, with your PlayStation and stuff.
It's part of the reason why I don't play too many PC games, because I kind of don't want to look at my thing. At my thing. But here's a plus about it. You don't need the Vita TV to do it. All you need is you could have a pretty decent laptop and do it, as long as it's connected to a network, right?
Yeah, it's true.
So if you have your PC connected to your TV like you do, Tony, you could literally, even though it's in the same room, but you can literally do the remote play that way.
Yeah. Yeah, like for me, obviously, it's kind of useless and stuff. I just need to shuffle over 5 feet and play, And I'm like you, I don't really want to play on my monitor, It's like, this is work, that's play. Different thing. But for some other people, it may not be that way. Chris, what are your thoughts on this, man?
I think it's great. I saw some of the other features you had in the article.
We'll talk about those. Yeah, we'll talk about those.
But I think opening up these options is great for people. There might be some people who I'm in a totally separate room from my PS4, right? My PS4 is in my living room. That's where I play stuff. So whenever I need to capture, the fun of hooking up an Elgato, right? I gotta pull my laptop out there, hook this shit up, hope it works. So it's a pain in the ass. So now you tell me maybe I could sit here while while I'm working really hard, I'm putting up big quotation marks around my head. I could slip in a little Street Fighter or play a little Uncharted or something while I'm sitting here, coding. That sounds pretty good to me, man.
Yeah, and here's my thing, right? Say you have everything wired, right, through your router and stuff. Is that going to minimize the lag and stuff?
Oh, having wired stuff always.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, so that's good too,
Yeah, I got the PS4 wired. My PC is wired too, so that'd be great. Just in my house, mode it, and I do the same thing that Manny does. Sometimes I play stuff on the Vita, right? But at my computer right now, if I wanted to take a break, right, I could play Steam, right? But I could also play Uncharted now. That's great.
Or if you want to get a little Souls in there.
Oh, I don't. Souls is serious, man. I might need to. I need to be relaxed, dude. I need some of that Jack Daniels that Tony's drinking to get to that fucking nightmare.
No, but yeah, Chris, I didn't think about that. That's pretty cool. It's like, hey, I want to play Uncharted right now. Play it right there on your PC. That's pretty cool.
And then what you said about having official drivers, that's great, because I don't I use a workaround right now to get the DualShock 4 to work on the PC. Yeah. And some of the Steam games, it doesn't work right. It doesn't work right at all, and I end up having to switch the Xbox controller. I just use my keyboard and mouse. So that would be nice to have official drivers.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's like, don't get me wrong, I like the Xbox controller, but I like the PlayStation 4 controller more. And that's one of the hurdles, like, not hurdles, but it's one of those things. It's like, I don't really want to play on PC because I don't want to play with this fucking controller all the time. So if I could use my PlayStation controller, man, I'll be playing more PC games for sure. I like the symmetricalness, man.
Does that also mean that if these games work on, if they manage to get a driver going for the for the
PC.
for the PC controller,
yeah,
I mean for the PlayStation 4 controller, right? Does that mean you can play Xbox One games with a PlayStation 4 controller?
Yes. Play Quantum Break.
You can play Quantum Break with a PlayStation controller.
That's pretty clever. I didn't think of that. That probably would work.
Yeah, Alex, man, how does this benefit you?
I mean, I really like the idea of the DualShock 4 drivers. I'm just like you guys. I way prefer that over the Xbox controller. But I don't really game on my PC at all. Like I'd rather, like I wouldn't stream at all personally. It's not for me. But I mean, I'm sure there is an audience out there that would love to, just sit down on a computer, stream the PS4 games, maybe PS4s in the living room or something. But yeah, it's not something I'd benefit from really.
Yeah.
I think it'd be good, especially like okay, so it could stream to Mac too, right?
Yeah.
Mac guys have a lot of problems. You don't have 100% Steam compatibility, but you will now be able to stream anything from your PS4. That sounds pretty good to me. If you're on a Mac exclusively.
Dude, it's pretty awesome, man. So yeah, let's talk about some of the other features that are coming. So actually, right now there actually is a beta for this going on. With a couple of select people. My thing is, as always with these betas, is like good luck to you guys. Hope your shit doesn't brick on you. I would not do that shit. No fucking way.
No way.
So here's some of the new features they're gonna add. Right, some of these features PS3 had, by the way. Friend online notification. Basically, when your buddy logs in, you get to see it. Yes, I want that because I don't like the fact like, hey, who's online? Let me scroll through everybody. I want to know who comes on so I can hit them up and stuff. And and the thing is, you can actually select who you want it to tell you to be on. It's not going to throw every Tom, Dick, and Harry. So it's like, hey, I want to know when Alex comes on. Pops up. I want to know when Manny comes on. So that's good. Here's a big one for me. Probably, actually, I don't know about you, Manny, because you don't get bothered too much, right? Appear offline.
Mm-hmm.
That, man, I need this one right here.
I've been waiting for that.
With your 200 and something people on your friends list?
Yeah, because, it's like, don't get me wrong, I appreciate the fact people want to hit me up and talk to me and invite me in chat rooms. Sometimes I just want to play my games, you know? And it's like, I'm trying to do a story mode here. Don't talk to me right now, but I don't want to be an asshole, so I go into your chat room and talk to you. Now it could be like, yo, man, Tony hasn't been playing for weeks. I've been playing, nigga.
I think that feature was a long time coming, and I think if you're intense in something, if you're playing Street Fighter V and you're getting bothered, like that's a really bad thing. And then sometimes when I'm playing Dark Souls, it's like I'm in the middle of something really important right now. I can't pause this game.
Exactly. So definitely, besides the remote play, that's probably my favorite feature right there. Appear offline. By the way, beta testers will not be able to try remote play. That's the only thing they can't try right now.
Yeah.
User scheduled events. I'm going to read what this says here. Now it's easier to organize a game session. We've added the ability to schedule a future gameplay session with your friends on the system. When your event starts, users who register for the event will automatically be added to a party, so you can start right away. Me personally, I won't use this shit. It's not for me.
That sounds like MMO stuff.
Want to create a Throwdown event?
We're all freewheeling.
Yeah, no. I'm my thing is why do you need to create an event? Just invite you. Hey, you want to play a game? Let's go. That's all you need. And then a new one is that you could upload your shit to Daily Motion now. That's a good thing.
That's cool. That's definitely good for the coalition, actually, because
definitely.
The coalition they have our own Daily Motion, which just
even though we've been kind of pushing the YouTube stuff a little bit harder, but we had Daily Motion, which is good. I'm seeing these 5 features, but I could have sworn there was a couple more here. Ways so you can see who's in a chat room now and stuff.
But
Mm-hmm.
you can, can't you?
You can kind of already see that,
That's
though.
what I'm saying. That's the reason I bring it up, because it's like we already can see what
Yeah.
everybody's playing, but somebody told me that basically let's say all five of us are in a hey Brian, hello Brian, I guess say talk when you're ready, man. So basically, say all of us are in a chat room, right? You know how only one person can see the share play of one other person?
Mm-hmm.
Now everybody can see it.
That's cool.
So that's good,
Wait, does that mean?
Oh, go ahead.
Does that mean like four of us can play a four-player game, or does that just mean you guys can almost watch me and Tony play a two-player game?
That's a good question. I don't know how that's going to work, but basically everybody can see you playing that one game.
Okay.
It's because it sucks. It's like, hey, I'm like, we've been in many situations, man. It's like, you're watching me play, but then the other guy wants to watch me play. Okay, now it's your turn to watch me play. Or vice versa. So we eliminate that. So that's good. Brian, get in here, man. What's up?
One thing I want them to fix is that stupid video thing on those that appears in the live area section. Like when you look in your into the game, right? And you see it tells you your percentage of trophies for that game. Then underneath that, it has a stupid video thing of some random Twitch feed, and it always activates at the wrong time. I'm trying to, because also they also got rid of the fact you can't see who has your game anymore.
Yeah.
Like I like to see who on my friends list actually has the game that I'm playing.
And so hopefully they'll add that,
Hopefully they'll at least add the thing where you could turn off that idiotic video and then turn the other thing back on.
I'll be honest, I don't know what video you're talking about.
Okay. No, when you go to a game and you go down, they'll be like you said, the trophies and all that, and then Twitch.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. I never go down.
I usually go down to see who in my collection of friends actually has a certain game, and it also tells you who's online playing the actual game. Not anymore. It doesn't do that. It just shows you that dumb video, and every single time you can't get past it without the fucking video activating.
Interesting.
Get out of you.
Yeah, I never go down there, so that's probably why. Hey, Brett just showed up real quick. Hello, Brett.
What is up, everybody?
Not much, just talking about the new PlayStation features and stuff.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah. Hey, Brett, a quick update, if you please, with what's going on with Rachel, man.
Okay, so Rachel has started the part 2 of her 3-part treatment, I guess. The 2 parts that we're doing locally here, and not the part that we actually have to go out of state to do. Because we haven't quite met that goal yet. But aside from that, she's doing good. We had a run of an infusion of chemo yesterday. Started around 7 a.m. Lasted until I think we got home around 6. And then today, again, starting at 7 a.m. and we literally just walked in the door. So it was about 15 hours today, which was, oh man, it's a rough one. But we're done. Brutal. We got it done. We're through it. She doesn't have to be back for another week. And she has started expressing a rash on the areas where the cancer is. So that might be a sign that she is showing a response to the chemo, which fingers crossed. Still way too early to tell anything, but something's happening. So
yeah, hopefully I'm gonna take that as a good sign, because we need some positivity here.
Does she have to go through radiation treatment also, or is this just chemo?
She's already been through radiation, and they don't think it was very effective. So that has essentially been taken out of our arsenal of weapons, unfortunately.
Yeah, so hopefully, again, people, please donate whatever you can. The links are right there in the description and stuff, And Brett, thank you for being on, because I know I specifically told you, like, dude, if you want to take the night off, go ahead. But you're like, hey, I want to show up for the people.
Oh yeah, I love you people, and it's nice to have a little bit of normal that maintains through this fucking shitstorm, man. Like I have to say, I think the Deadpool movie hit it pretty well. Like cancer is a shit show. There's nothing that doesn't suck about this.
Yeah, exactly. And joining us is Brian as well. Hello, Mr. Manjoma.
It's really weird how like two guys with the same initials just showed up at like roughly the same time.
Yeah, isn't that odd?
They're the worst initials, aren't they, Brian?
Uh,
BM.
yeah, they're kind of bad. To be fair, I'm not gonna lie. Like I got mocked as a child. Like, remember those like BN biscuits? I don't know if you guys had them in the States. Essentially, they were like biscuits they were called BN, so like B for Bravo, N for November, and of course like my last name is M for mother, so of course they say, hey Brian, BN BN, da, 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 da. I was like, go fuck yourself. Literally, go fuck yourself, sir. But yeah, not the greatest.
Hey, don't
But yeah.
worry about it. You know, my initials are TP. That's toilet paper.
Yeah, I got it pretty
Hey.
bad too. My first name is Alex, starts with an A. My last name is Nuss, so A Nuss.
Ain't it?
Oh wow.
Oh, that's not good. Hey, speaking of names, you want to know something I found out interesting the other day?
What's up?
Will Wheaton's
Wait,
Will is his middle name. Did you know this?
what? Really?
Yeah, you know what his first name is?
What?
Richard.
Interesting.
Dick Wheaton.
Dick
Yeah.
Wheaton.
His motto of "Don't be a dick." He is quite literally a dick.
How tall is he? Just have a question.
Yeah, we're all gonna call him Dick Wheaton. He's a 5 foot something dick.
So then it's fair to say that he's a big dick.
Oh, he's a big dick.
Shit.
Anyway, Brian, what's been going on with you, man?
Nothing exciting. You know, just the usual. Tony, goes arguing with people on Twitter.
Me. Arguing with me on
You
Twitter.
and
You
that
can still,
other
you can
guy
still talk
and
on Twitter.
Yes.
What's that?
Oh, you can still talk on Twitter.
Oh shit! Yeah, we haven't been muted yet. You know.
No, I may have been blocked, but I don't know because I don't care and I don't know that guy, so whatever. Yeah, it turns out if you call someone an idiot for saying idiotic things on Twitter, then they get really upset about that. I
Yeah, to
don't
be
know how
fair,
that works.
To be fair, you were being an asshole.
He was being an idiot. I was not being an asshole. He was literally being an idiot. I'm not gonna lie. Like that's why I said, hey, you're being kind of stupid here, sir. And he's like, oh, whatever. It's like, okay, whatever.
Brian, let me clarify. Were you meaning to say that a person or persons on the internet were acting in a way that would lead you to believe that their intelligence were suboptimal, maybe even below normal?
Yeah.
Is that the message you're trying to get across?
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure calling them an idiot is just language, and correct language at that.
Trust me, Brian was being a PC gamer asshole, man. Like,
Hey,
no.
you may not have liked what
you're an asshole.
you may not have liked
I
what he
don't know.
had to say, but he meant exactly what he said.
Yeah, it's true. But Brian, you could have done it. You didn't have to do it like that, man. I didn't like the way you came off, man. That was not good.
The
you know?
truth hurts? Wow, okay. Yeah.
How is that the
No,
truth? You're being a
no,
fucking asshole to this guy. You
I
know?
was telling him the truth. He said something that was dumb. I said, hey, that's dumb. And he got upset. Like how else can I put it? If
No,
you say
you
the sky
said
is
this-
red, and
you
then I said,
specifically
no,
said
the
you
sky is
can't-
blue,
You specifically said you console peasants are stupid.
I did
Come
not
on,
say that.
man.
I did not use those words. The tweets are there. I did not say that.
You said console
was-
peasants, man.
No, I did not. I did not say console.
All right, I'm gonna look this up. 'cause
That
I'm
was
pretty sure
Corey
you
that
console.
said that.
Oh, Corey getting into every conversation.
Even then, like, do we want to just go ahead and talk? Like, I get it, the whole console peasant thing. It's all cheeky and good fun. You guys take it too far sometimes. Like, but like we know Brian, okay? Like beyond, like his cynicism reaches beyond that of a normal British person.
Yes.
So you know what, like 80% of what he say is like wry and sarcastic. So you kind of got to imagine that if Brian actually went out of his way to call somebody a console peasant, he'd be doing it in good nature. Like I can't imagine. I can't really imagine Brian like that egotistical and angry to begin with, but especially over something like that.
Yeah, it was pretty stupid because the guy was talking about V-Sync issues or whatever. Oh, by the way, Brian, Rise of the Tomb Raider is 20% off on Steam. Should I buy it?
If you want. I don't know.
I don't know. Did you buy Gears of War like I recommended? It's $30, man.
I haven't yet because it requires Windows 10 and fuck you, Microsoft.
Okay, never mind then.
Like, like seriously, like Windows 10, I'm gonna wait a bit more because I'm still not sold yet.
All right. Actually, you guys jump. Yeah. Go ahead.
It's like saying you're not sold on the flu.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
With very good reason, Brian. But it's probably going to get you anyway.
By the way, you guys kind of... Yeah, go ahead, Brian.
Well, I have to, like, eventually, since, like, it isn't, like, DX12, like, exclusive, like Windows 10 and stuff like that.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, if you leave your PC on and unattended long enough, Windows 10 will materialize on it.
Oh, it already does. It, like, pops up every time I turn on my PC saying, hey, Windows 10 update is available. Like, do you want to get it now, or tonight, or tomorrow night? Like, no, just fuck off. Like, Task Manager, end process, end all the process every single time. I don't need this right now.
It's like you're stopping a Pokemon from trying to evolve.
Yeah, just smash on the B button. No, it will not evolve. Yeah.
All right. Actually, you guys jumped in at a pretty good time here. Pretty sure you're gonna get riled up about this. So anyway, so the UN was trying to pull some bullshit with Japan in gaming. They were trying to get them to censor, violent depictions of women in games and manga and all this shit, right? And then this woman, she shut that shit down. She was like, "How the fuck can we sexually abuse a fictional character? How are real women being affected by this?
Is this about Bayonetta? You know that was like written and designed by a woman, right? Like you do realize it is the definition of a female power fantasy, correct? Like
it is not just Bayonetta, it's all manga and all that shit. It's like, basically the UN is trying to tell Japan, stop doing that. And Japan's like, no, we do whatever the fuck we want.
It's like, all right. Like, do we tell you what you should do with your fucking entertainment? No.
Yeah, exactly. And this is a woman that said that. She said, not only are we not sexually abusing women because these are literally fictional characters, but two, you're trying to stifle our fucking creativity by this shit. No, we don't want that.
At what point, and I want to say this to the social justice warriors out there who are clearly not listening because they've abandoned our show long, long ago. So at what point does it go from like you defending women to you forcing your political ideals onto somebody else, which is not only a form of censorship, but also completely ignoring their culture, which they have a right to according to every single quote-unquote right-think school of thought out there. Like, you can't take away their agency and demean their culture when it's not hurting you. And in fact is ingrained into a lot of, like, you don't understand the lens through which they see these things. They were an isolationist country forever, and they have, even when they weren't, like, politically isolationist, they were very isolated. They have a long and, I hate to overuse this word, but isolated developing culture. Like, this is their way. And it's whether or not you fucking like it isn't your place to say, because you don't go to somebody's home and tell them what the fuck to do. Like,
Brett, Brett, isn't that what they always do? Look,
no, it is absolutely what they always do. But
think about this culture. That's the analogy we've been using for like
No, that's not a culture in their eyes. That's a plague. Okay, it's a very different thing. But wow. This runs undeniably against. This is Japanese culture. Okay, like you may not like it, and it may have a lot in common with our culture. So you feel the ability to raise your voice. And I do realize that one of the battle cries of people who kind of don't support feminist movements as they stand today is like, there's a whole lot of stuff going around the world that's really fucked up. Like, maybe deserves more of your attention. But this isn't the thing that we're talking about. This is somebody else's culture, and you do not have the right to go into their home and tell them how to do things. It's as simple as that. This is something bigger than freedom of speech. Freedom of speech is an American thing. This is an unalienable basic human right that somebody has a right to express and enjoy their culture as it has been handed down to them or not. But that's their fucking choice. This is something that's bigger than our Constitution, our Bill of Rights, bigger than our culture. This is cross-cultural. This is a basic human thing that I don't understand how you don't get your fucking head wrapped around. It's how do you get more simple than live and let live? This is something that, despite our barbarism that we are just now starting to grow out of, this has been a standing edict in almost every civilization. You didn't have to like other people's civilization, but you didn't stop them from really enjoying their culture unless you were, like being tyrannical. There's plenty of historical instances where people have done that, but it's usually instances where they're trying to suppress or hold down a group of people, which is kind of the thing that we're not going to do because apparently we hate colonialism, which is the most, where that's expressed the most. So, like, I don't understand, and I'm sorry to steal the floor and go off on a fucking rant here, but how do you not understand that this is not your place and to sit down and just shut the fuck up?
Yeah, no, they don't see it that way, dude. They don't, they see this as a righteous fight, and they're the only ones that are like willing to take up this fight, to liberate women. And just like this report said, it's like they're more concerned with the rights of fictional women than they are of actual real women, because they're trying to tell actual real women you can't do this.
But that's the point, though. Like you feel that this is a righteous cause. The whole point of respecting another person's culture, the entire idea embodied is, it's going to seem weird to you. It's probably going to go against the grain of the things that you've been taught. But this is a different people with different values, and so you let them just kind of do their thing. It's kind of in the bylaws of cultural acceptance that you're not going to like it. I mean, like, anytime you have a culture that's very foreign to your own, they come into your neighborhood, they have very different cultural customs than you. Maybe they belch at the dinner table. Maybe that offends you. Maybe they cook a bunch of food that fucking stinks and you don't like it. Maybe you don't like how they raise their kids or their lack of raising their kids. These are not your things to complain about, despite how strongly you feel about them. So when it comes down to something like, hey, you're probably not going to like this, but it's the basic, decent human thing to just kind of fucking put up with it or try and find a middle ground. Like, them's the rules. Those are the rules that you have been preaching. Like, those are the basic rules. How do you take that, and when somebody says, you're probably not going to like it, but you're going to have to accept it, and go, yeah, but I don't like it. Like, and think that makes any kind of sense. And I know I'm not going to get an answer here, but Jesus fucking Christ, you are like the definition of xenophobic. Sure, they can come in here, and sure, we can hang out with them, but only if they do like we do, act like we do, dress like we do, and value all the same shit that we do. That's the only point in which we can be friends. So basically, you can only be friends with your people. And that's fucked up. That's always been fucked up.
Yeah, and it's ironic because, they're all about inclusion, about diversity, right? But only to a point, because they don't want diversity of thought. They want the same thought. They want, what is it, like mind share or whatever. They want the same. They want everybody to think the same shit, right? But at the same time with diversity, which one is it, guys?
They're talking about a culture they don't fucking know about. Like, Japanese women hold a lot of power in culture because in Japanese culture. In fact, women have their pick of men, so much so that you're now actually seeing a backlash of men who don't want to actually enter the meat market because the odds are so against their favor, and so they're just doing kind of weird stuff like getting sex robots, getting really into anime, buying a body pillow, and calling it a day. And I'm not going to say whether that's right or wrong because, again, that's not my fucking culture.
Yeah, exactly.
It does express a certain power dynamic that leans towards the women's side, and beyond that, women have all kinds of weird jobs. Like they get paid to cuddle. Like, if that's not holding all the fucking cards, I don't know what is. And sure, you can reinvent the ways that the sexes express themselves, and they can Japan can do that all they want. But I for one, loving a lot of anime as I do not see a lack of strong female characters in Japanese culture. In fact, it seems to almost be a token thing. And so before you go like crying, like the thing that pisses me off is they know nothing about Bayonetta. They're just like, oh, she's got tight pants on. Like, yeah, Bayonetta displays sexuality on her terms when she wants to, so much so that she actually weaponizes it. She uses it to distract her foes. She uses it to impress her allies. She uses it as a medium for her magic. They're like how do you get more literally sexually powerful than that? Like, you're just mad that she's flashing her ass. It doesn't matter whether it was her prerogative to do so in the first place. Like, and the way that you justify is that you say that she's basically an Uncle Tom, that she's a character who's basically created and subservient to this patriarchy. So basically you're saying this strong female character is weak because she doesn't agree with you. Like, that is not only a weird double think, but it is ridiculously offensive. Like, I'm tempted to get offended for women, but you know what? I'm going to leave that to the women to get offended for themselves because I respect their fucking agency. And yeah, my wife is super pissed about this. And
I bet.
Go ahead and let her be super pissed about this. And it's not my fucking place. I've been told I don't have a seat at the table, but if I did, I would just silently golf clap for, you know what, way to do this in the face of adversity, and way to do this in the face of criticism, because that's what I call fucking integrity, and integrity is something that we're seriously lacking these days. So, good on you, Bayonetta. If I wasn't already a fan, I would be now.
Yeah, well, good on Japan, because they're the ones that shut this shit down. You know, they're like, no, this is our culture. We're going to do things our way, so fuck you guys.
Yeah,
fuck
good on
UN.
you, Japan. Good on you. Don't let people tell you what the fuck to do.
Exactly, especially these assholes that are just doing this shit for their own little purposes so they can feel better about themselves, thinking, oh, we did this for women, and meanwhile they're fucking, like, putting down women, you know, in the process. But again, they could put these women down because these women don't think like them.
You know what happened to the days of the old punk rock ethics, of the whole DIY ethos? Like, if you don't like something, go out and make something better. If you are correct and it is better in every way, then it'll catch on like wildfire, motherfucker, and you'll be a rich man and or woman. Awesome. Cool. There you go.
Oh, boy. All right. Anybody else have any thoughts on this shit? Japan just telling these guys to go fuck themselves?
Not really much to add, to be fair. Again, just going off what Brett said about if you don't like it, then make something better. It's like, yeah, but Brett, that's way too much effort. Like, why do that?
Better to complain. Let's just complain.
Yeah, just complain. You know, like, why actually do something that makes a difference than when you can just sit on your ass and complain about it?
Well, because if you want the old man answer, the problem's with fucking society, because we're giving just as much credit to the people who deface a monument as those who build it. The fact that we lift the Anita Sarkeesians up on the world, like, what have you fucking done? Nothing. You're the Siskel and Ebert of video games. Everybody kind of fucking hates you. A few people who feel like they are very smart decide to follow you and parrot the things that you say so that they look impressive at fucking parties. But in general, you're a loathed troll of a human figure. Like, you bring nothing to the table, and the only legacy you leave is being a thorn in everybody's side. Congratulations, you're the person who's renowned for being a party ruiner. I hope you're really happy with yourself. It is the easiest way to leave a legacy, but it's a shitty fucking legacy to leave.
A potty pooper.
Yeah.
Man.
Can I just point out that the whole funny thing about the fact that she criticizes video games, but yet when you she criticizes someone else's work, which is fine, but yet when people criticize her work, it's not fine.
Isn't that ironic?
Have I explained this to you guys? Have I explained the whole micro-narrative and postmodernism? Because I've been going off on this tangent all week.
No. We can save that for another day, man. But thank you, Japan, for standing up. You know. All right. And the last thing here, there was a new Nintendo Direct today. Oh boy, Chris, man, what the fuck, dude? What the fuck is this shit?
I don't know. As usual, everyone has high expectations, and as usual, Nintendo completely delivers, under-delivers to the extreme, right? So everybody thought coming in, like, oh, they're going to talk about NX, right? Everybody thought. You're going to talk about NX, you're going to talk about Zelda, right? They're going to talk about Zelda. Guess what? They didn't talk about either of those things. That's what you did. They did talk about season passes and DLCs for you guys. They adopted the worst tactics from companies they made fun of, like EA. So Nintendo's not just as bad as EA and Activision and Ubisoft and WB for doing the exact things we always rail against. They are now going to use season passes and have DLC. They have pre-planned DLC for games. So I hope you guys are happy. I hope this is everything you wanted from Nintendo. I hope they delivered everything you expected. Or maybe they didn't deliver anything you expected, and now you're pissed off.
You know, I find it funny that, for years we've been telling Nintendo, right, to get with the times, get with the times. Not like this, not with DLC and free-to-play games and season passes and limited release copies. It's like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Shit.
They're gonna release okay, like look at something like Hyrule Warrior Legends. This is a game that already came out on Wii U. They're porting it to 3DS. They're adding some stuff in. They said there's gonna be DLC packs for this game, and this hurts my brain. I'm like, this is a portable game, right? There's a handheld game. You're gonna have DLC packs for this fucking game that is over 2 years old? Are you serious? This is what you gave everyone when everybody's like, where's Zelda? Are we going to get some good Star Fox news? No, you get DLC.
Yeah. Nintendo, man, that's what you get from them now, man.
No. You also get amiibos.
Yeah, amiibos.
Yeah, you get amiibos.
Physical DLC.
Yeah. Go ahead.
My loathing for Nintendo has reached, if it were a pit, it's gotten so deep that there's nothing but an impenetrable blackness at the bottom now. I think I might have broken through into the underworld. The tendrils of Hades are climbing out of this pit along with the unknown voice of some Cthulhu-esque being breaching dimensions. I cannot, how have you fallen so far, Nintendo?
Brett, is it like in Dark Souls when you fall into Lost Izalith? Is it like that?
Yes, it is exactly like that. You're like,
how did we get here?
How am I still falling? Between the plate selling out, the amiibos, this was the last bastion of well, at least Nintendo doesn't do this. You already you're re-releasing Twilight Princess, that abortion.
Oh, Brett, by the way, you'll love this. So Twilight Princess on the Wii U has frame rate issues that the Wii version never had.
Or the GameCube version either.
Wow.
Previous two versions. This is the third version of the game, and it has frame rate issues on your pretty much overclocked GameCube. So congratulations on that.
How do you suck so hard at what you do?
Nintendo's trash, man. It's bullshit, man.
It's like you used to have a really cool uncle who took you for rides on his motorcycle, gave you sips of his beer, and then one day he just showed up because he found Jesus again. And for the last 20 years, you're like, Uncle Dave, you suck so hard.
What happened?
So hard.
It used to be cool, man. Oh, by the way, here's the one I want to talk about. Super Nintendo games are coming to the eStore. But only for the new 3DS. And check this out. Here's the breakdown. Out of all 3DS users, 79% you own the regular 3DS, right? 13% own the new 3DS, and then 8% own that fucking doorstop. The 2DS.
The cheese wedge.
So you're making Super Nintendo games only available to 13% of people that own a 3DS. That's smart.
No, that's called a dick move. That's called
that's called Will Wheaton.
Yeah. But here's the thing, everybody. I don't know if you know this. There's a resale market. You could go buy yourself a Super Nintendo and you find cartridges. Just like I do. We have a big collection of Super Nintendo games here. Anytime I want, I could play a Super Nintendo game. Kristen has an original Super Nintendo. I have a Retron 5. I can play anything I want without having to be sold on the rehash of an old system. So thanks, Nintendo, but no thanks. I'm not falling for that bullshit.
Wait,
You're not falling for the rope-a-dope.
Wait a minute. I think I know what they're doing.
What?
Nintendo is not just happy poisoning the well and ruining their system. If they become a third-party developer, they're going to bring you crap re-releases of old games with new DLC, free play and season passes. They want to make sure that when they make the transition to third-party developer, they fail at that too.
Okay.
Well, if your goal is to it's like your fall from grace is so hard, and then your template is to become Capcom, and you're well on your way.
Oh man.
Are they even trying anymore? I mean, I know there's probably a lot of people out there just really angry at me right now, but I understand that they may think that this is the thing or whatever, but it's like they're intentionally sabotaging themselves.
That's what it seems like, doesn't it?
It really does. Like all sarcasm aside, if I wanted to tank a system, I would alienate all my third-party support, and then I'd systematically alienate my customer base. I would split my customer base up into many smaller functions or many smaller subgroups, and then only release content that I do release for certain subsections of that. So I could say as a whole my company is releasing things, but actually not get any sales revenue about it. I wouldn't port over wildly popular games to the second most viable market. And then I'd rapidly and unrelentingly make fun of my fan base until they hated me. I mean, it's like somebody is like, is Nintendo tied up in a janitor closet somewhere?
Yeah, the real Nintendo, right? You know what this reminds me of? There was this one episode of Robot Chicken, right, where the real Michael Jackson showed up. Aliens kidnapped him in 1984, right? That's what happened to Nintendo. Somebody kidnapped the real Nintendo around 1993 or so. And, yeah, they're still being held in space or something. So, yeah, I guess if you want to sabotage your company, just emulate Nintendo to the letter, and you will sabotage your fucking company. It's amazing. Go ahead, Chris.
I just don't understand this because, like, people are, everyone knows between the leaks and the rumors or whatever that NX is coming out. So you think you would, as a smart company, as any person would do, you would head off the rumors and just go, okay, we have to say something at this point, and then go wait for E3. But they're not doing that. They're just pretending, oh, nothing ever happened. What are you talking about? What system? It's like, no, we're not idiots. Like, stop treating everyone of your customers like they're stupid. And I have to say this to Nintendo fans, you just get shit on all the time. They just treat you like you're idiots and laugh at you, and you just lap it up. You're just like, you can't wait for the next Mario or whatever. And guess what? Did you see the rumored list for NX? Did you see a Mario game or anything on there? No. I see ports. Just nothing but ports.
Hey, Chris, you know what you see? The new Zelda game. We called that shit.
Yes.
We fucking called that shit, dude.
Yeah,
I also want to say it's not hyperbole when he says they're laughing at you. Like, he means that literally.
Yeah, they literally are laughing.
No, they literally are laughing at you. And it's like, you look at this list again, it's okay, I'll give a couple of interesting things, but there's things that we know about, like, Bravely Second, you've only mentioned that for the 15th time. Everybody knew that. That's not your game. That's Square's game. So congratulations. You're porting Dragon Quest VII. Great. Onto 3DS, which makes total sense since you released Dragon Quest IX on the DS. So that makes it's a great job. And then you have a Metroid game that has nothing to do with Metroid. That actually had a petition to have its development stopped. But no, you go full steam ahead. It's like the captain of the Titanic ordering full steam ahead once you already hit the iceberg. Just keep going into it. Yeah. So good job with that.
Some game companies are having petitions written to them to make games. Nintendo's having petitions written to them to please stop making this game. They're like, no, I think this is a good idea. I think it'll sell well.
Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, because I need to just drive that knife in deeper, let's actually run down all the shit they did show. Okay, so Splatoon, there's going to get 2 updates. Who cares? I'm going to be saying that a lot.
Lots of people like Splatoon. I don't get it, but they do.
Yeah,
I guess.
So at least you're getting a free update, which they aren't they generous? Aren't they merciful?
Go ahead, Alex.
Oh, it's a neat game. It's probably my favorite game on Wii U, but that's not really saying much.
Yeah, it's true. Super Mario Maker is going to get an update that adds new items, a key and a locked door, and a super expert mode for the 100 Mario challenge. Okay. Tokyo Mirage Session. I don't know what the fuck that is. Lost Reavers. Chris, what is that?
I guess it's some weird combination of fighting zombies using puzzle solving.
Yeah, Bandai Namco.
I think Sega made that a long time ago. I think it was called Typing of the Dead or something.
Paper Mario is going to get an update. Yay. Pocket Card Junkie. What the fuck is that? Pokemon.
It's solitaire. It's
really?
Solitaire.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
Solitaire.
Or Poketeer.
And then, oh yeah, I saw a trailer for that. It's Solitaire. Then you get to mate your horses and stuff like that. Like,
Okay. When I think solitaire, I think about horses fucking each other. Okay.
Wow, Solitaire has really changed in the last couple of years.
Yeah, right. Shit, that's not the solitaire I remember, man. This fucking it was an Esquitarian humping crazy. Azure Striker Gunvolt 2. I don't know what the hell that is.
It doesn't matter because it's on Steam anyway. So.
Oh shit. Here you go, Chris. Hyrule Warriors Legends.
Exactly.
What the fuck is this shit?
Are you kidding?
Yes.
They're
Yes, they're re-releasing the skinned Dynasty Warriors onto 3DS.
On 3DS.
I mean, I get it's the Dynasty Warriors, but stop treating it like a Dynasty Warriors.
But that's
It's
exactly
Hyrule
how they treat.
Warriors.
Did you not? The Tecmo Koei guy came out and literally said they offered to make a more expansive game that actually would have temples and things like that, and Miyamoto refused it. He said he just wanted Dynasty Warriors.
Wow.
This is
Wow.
this is on record, people. This was actually done. They offered to make a full Zelda game, and he refused.
wow.
Jeez. All right. Bravely Second, like you said, that's cool. Bravely Default was a fantastic game. You get the I still need to finish that fucking game.
Beat that game.
Yeah, Dragon Quest 7. Okay. Chris, Federation Force. What is this shit?
That's the game that people petitioned that they wanted to stop. This is what they showed at E3 last year. That they were like, "Oh, here's a Metroid game you were asking for." Although no one asked for this. No one asked for, I don't know, random no-name characters that get into mech suits and have some kind of online multiplayer co-op shooting action. Like, that's not Metroid. That looks like a game that you put together. They said, gee, it's in space and it has robots. What can we do with it? We're already making Star Fox. Oh, we have another space game with Metroid. Put Metroid's name on that. That's what this feels like. This feels like a half-assed idea that they're trying to make sound fully fleshed out by branding it with Metroid, right?
Yeah, it's insane. And then the last thing here, Rhythm Heaven Mega Mix.
Yeah, because
Don't know
everyone
what the
wanted
fuck-
that.
Yeah, of course. And then here's the thing I want to ask you. What's up with this Star Fox shit? They're splitting the game in two? What's going on?
No, they're not splitting the game in two. They had this tower defense game they were working on called Project Guard, right? This is a name I've heard mentioned before, like from 2014. This is another probably idea that they felt wasn't strong enough to stand on its own because it's a little tower defense game. It looks like a mobile game. So what did they do? They slapped Star Fox on it and package it with the game. So you get some lame tower defense game with Star Fox, whatever.
Oh, cool.
You could call that a bonus, or you could call that whatever.
So you're forced to play part of a MOBA game as filler for Star Fox. That's awesome. Nintendo using I feel like Nintendo's like, we're in trouble. Pull out the manual. They pull out this old 3-ring binder, go, and they blow the dust off. And then they're like, what does it say to do? They're like, okay, first of all, release more handhelds because nobody owns a TV. There's one TV per household. The family sits around. It's in the living room. Kids need their own screens. Now, keep in mind this is from 1990 or something like that.
Yeah.
They're flipping through. They're like, okay, so we need a standard RPG. We need a Star Fox. We need to do something with Zelda. All right. Here, just throw it at the rest of the board. They're like, go nuts. Everything in there is pretty much relevant. They're like, what do we do when people say that we have a system coming out? We're like, oh, we're going to do the same thing that we've always done, not say shit about it. Well, that worked before the internet. I'm not sure it'll work now. It's in the pamphlet. It's in the book. It's going. They have literally, all of this sounds like it would be great in 1990. And I don't mean that sarcastically. I mean, this seems like the exact stuff that Nintendo has always done. This would have really worked.
No, it's worse than what they've always done because back in the day, and a lot of, I'm sure a lot of people watch this show who are cranky right now, especially guys like Triforce Johnson, don't remember the days when Nintendo used to have their own E3. It was called Space World, and Nintendo had their own conference and would show off tons of content. And when they were bringing out Ocarina of Time, they had information on it in every Nintendo Power. They had information on it all the time. There was not this secrecy. There was not this just. I don't know if they're embarrassed or whatever, but there was not this just shutdown of information and lockdown and you don't get anything. This has never happened.
They used to pimp their games. They didn't say anything about their systems, which I always fucking hated. But even then, like, for the people who are really mad at me right now, I remember a time when I could choose from hundreds of Nintendo games. I remember a time when I could go to Blockbuster, that's right, fucking Blockbuster, once a week and rent a brand new video game that I had never played. I remember playing Sega, and I got the Sega Channel. I had more games than I could ever play. I had more games than a PC Master Race junkie with an overbloated Steam account. There was a time when games ran wild. They frolicked in the meadows and they grew on trees ripe for the picking. And they were good. They were good games too. First-party games, third-party games, multiplayer games, single-player games, RPGs, shooters, sport games, rhythm games. Any game you could think, they were just there, bathed in the meadow, in the golden sunlight in the meadow, free for the taking. It was the Garden of Eden, which is not the same thing as this Nintendo who hates me and releases 9 games a year. So no matter what you say, I remember a better time. I don't know if you do, but I remember it. Pretty sure Chris fucking remembers it too.
I remember a good time, but there's a little known fact, and actually, I'll give Tony the link to this. Gaming Historian on YouTube did a video on this. I don't know if you know this, but Nintendo actually tried to sue and petition Congress back in the 90s to stop video game rentals.
Wow.
Flat out stopped them. They were actually trying to use copyright laws to get rid of, and they actually had a long legal battle with Blockbuster. Blockbuster, for all the fun we make of them through the years, fought for our rights to have video game rentals. So I'll give them a lot of credit. A lot of people don't know that. I'm going to link to the video. Gaming Historian did a whole retrospective on it.
Nice. Well, I was always a Sega guy.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I own both systems. I owned the SNES and Genesis, but after that, like with the Nintendo 64, I'm like, what are you guys doing? Fucking lost me. Other thing I want to bring up, this has been part of the Nintendo Direct. What the fuck is up with Conker? Okay, there's a new Conker game only coming out for HoloLens, and it's going to be a tutorial for HoloLens.
What?
What?
I wish I just blew you guys away. So the new Conker game, and remember, since this is a tutorial for HoloLens, that means none of that cursing, none of that shit. PG Conker.
That's
is that even Conker?
No, that's no.
It's Conker Junior. That's what they're calling it, and it's going to be a tutorial.
Junior, okay.
What a slap in the fucking face to Conker fans that have been waiting for their new game, right? Look at this shit.
You know the worst thing about this is they use this to test the market to see if there's an interest in it. So some jackass is going to look at me like, oh, well, people apparently don't want a new Conker. No, they don't want your shitty failure of a Conker. Like the old game literally started with him waking up shit-faced. Like there was no it wasn't like, oh, we'll lead into it and then an unexpected turn and now it gets raunchy. No, like it started off being like, this is what the game's gonna be.
Yeah, and talk about Nintendo's image back in the 90s and 2000s. You know, that was one of the raciest gaming ads ever made. Was for Conker's Bad Fur Day, where he woke up with a prostitute.
Yeah.
In the ad. So yeah. Talk about Nintendo having some balls, like the balls dropped off.
Well, they're speaking about balls, they're castrating Conker, apparently, you know.
Well, this is Microsoft's fault now.
Yeah, but still, what the fuck, man? I'm not even a Conker fan. It's annoying me, you know.
It was so good though. The multiplayer in that game was actually really solid.
Man.
But yeah, there you go. That's wow. So that is pretty much it for this episode. Pretty wild. Glad you guys showed up at the end, Brett, especially you, man. You know, Brian,
always a pleasure.
Yeah, and Brian, when are you going to be on more regularly, dude?
You know what? It's my phone battery. It's been dying recently, so I need to sort that out. But I should be back more regularly, like next time, essentially.
Yeah, and with the camera too, man. We need to see the Britishness.
Until I get my desk fixed, then you probably won't see it. But yeah,
fair enough.
I'll be back when the metamorphosis is complete.
Yeah, I'm just mashing my B button so that I don't evolve just yet. I'm still young at heart. I'm not 34.
No,
Yeah.
man. It's sad when yeah, go ahead, man.
Can I just like point out something that we missed at the start of the show? Brett, I'd like to know your thoughts on some things. Do you
Yes.
have the show notes up, or does Tony have the show notes up?
I'll bring them up right now. Hold on.
I do have
Yeah,
the
I
show
mean,
notes up.
you guys did miss some of the topics, but we're not trying to extend this to be 3 hours, you know. All right, go ahead. There they are, right there.
Yeah.
Show notes.
Long story short, my thoughts on the Xbox thing, I don't
Oh
care.
yeah.
No. I seriously don't care. It sounds like a dumb idea because why would you do that? I would thought that they would put more emphasis on the cloud stuff, but I don't know. I don't care. Microsoft, what the fuck are you doing? Uncharted 4 getting delayed. Getting delayed games is good because I can't stand games that come out when they're broken in general. So delays are never really a bad thing in my book, as long as the game is good.
Can I argue that?
I don't see how. Again, well, I said as long as the game comes out good. Like, you don't want another Watch Dogs, essentially,
No,
where the
no.
game gets delayed and comes down to shit.
As long as the game gets delayed, let me ask you this: Is there a certain number of times that a game gets delayed that makes you worry that it's either A, been mismanaged, or B, is having problems in development?
That's what I want to ask.
Like the last card.
Yeah, exactly. Because if you delay a game once, okay, twice, okay, 3 times, I'm gonna question you now. And Brian, remember, you're always accusing me of letting Naughty Dog slide. I'm not letting them slide. That's a stupid excuse. Oh, we're gonna delay the game because we don't have enough fucking physical copies. There's digital copies. Sell those then. You can't run out of those. It is literally impossible to run out of digital copies. It's a stupid excuse, you know?
I don't like. Okay, I can't put a number on the amount of times, but I'd say delayed in like over the course of 2 years, if that makes sense. So let's say a game is meant to come out April 2017, and then it keeps getting delayed and then it finally gets released like over 2 years later, if that makes sense.
So, like No Man's Sky.
Well, No Man's Sky was never like slated to have a release
It's
date.
a release date, by the way. It finally has a release date. June 21st is coming.
Yeah. So basically, if it gets delayed or its delaying process happens over 2 years, then definitely there's something wrong with that. So that's definitely a sign of something odd. But to be honest, I'm not too concerned. Again, this delay doesn't seem to be that long by the sound of it. And
Yeah.
as long as it comes out and it's good, then that's fine. My guess is essentially because they have the open beta or quote-unquote, sort of. Let me say that again. My thoughts is since that they have the online demo coming this weekend, that's not a beta because fuck that. Basically, they just want to ensure that everything's good and any bugs that they do find, then they patch those and then like bang it out. That's my assumption. So essentially, it's my thoughts are they have delayed it so that they can essentially ship with the day one patch that they inevitably have. But then they'll have another day one patch anyway, so it makes it redundant. So I don't know. Yeah.
We'll talk about that after the show, Brian. By the way, that's all I'll say about that. Like I said, by the way, Brian, you missed this, but this is what I said. I don't care about the delay, right? It gives me more time to play other shit, right? I just think the excuse they gave is bullshit. It's the equivalent of it was a weather balloon. It's stupid. You know, it's that. Come on, that's not a real excuse. All right, anyway, what do you think about Quantum Break? I want to hear your thoughts on this one.
It's quite frustrating. It's like some guy in on the comments of like that article just pretty much just summed it best. You know, it's like, how long are they going to support this for? You know, because it's like it's getting to the point now where like single player games are relying on online content, and that should not be the case. You know, okay, I understand that is something new that I've never tried before. That's fine, but like if I buy like an Xbox One, sorry, hold on, that was funny. If I had an Xbox One. Oh, sorry about that. I just lost track. Yeah, if someone buys an Xbox One in the future and then they decide to buy Quantum Break and decide to play it and the servers on top, then what happens? You know, like they essentially lose like one of the tick boxes at the back because I'm pretty sure that on the back it says, "Hey, live action shit," you know. So it's just not cool, to be fair. But But I am willing to give them a pass since, again, like this is the first time that I understand something like this has happened.
Yeah.
So we'll see how things go, you know. And firmware updates.
Yeah, what do you
Is
think
that
about the whole streaming to PC thing? That's what I want to know. You know, what do you think about that?
they're literally just taking advantage of the fact that they know like most PC gamers just like well I don't know whether or not they'll have a physical copy of the game, but I'm assuming that they won't. So I'm assuming that they're thinking, okay, because we won't have a physical copy of the game, there's no point of having so like this, so just stream it. Even though that at some point you'll be able to like just pirate it because someone will just stream all of them, then put them on the internet, and that will do that.
I think
So yeah,
you might be a little confused about that. It's just
Yeah.
remote play.
Yeah, it's just remote play. It's not like the actual real game. It's just streaming it. It's remote play, dude. You can't pirate a remote play game. You know.
I thought that the cutscene or like the live action stuff was streamed.
No, you're talking about Quantum Break. You're talking, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I thought
you were
that
talking
it
about
said.
PlayStation firmware updates, dude.
Oh no. I was talking about Quantum Break stuff.
Okay.
Like
Gotcha.
I was saying that like people will just screen grab the
the
cinemas
cutscenes.
and then put them on the internet.
Okay, yeah, I
Yeah.
got you.
That's gonna be a huge
firmware-
download.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's the reason you can't have it on disc because it's too fucking big to be on a disc. You know.
I'm pretty sure they'll have like part 1, part 2 type stuff.
Yeah.
Like break it
Actually,
down.
this is the way they're going to break it down. Basically, you play a chapter of the game, right? Then you watch an episode. Play a chapter, watch an episode. On and on and on and on. Which is, like I said, it's going to kind of fuck up the flow of the game, you know what I'm saying? But then again, I guess if you played Metal Gear, you should be okay with that, right?
But again, this is not like a Metal Gear thing. It's like it's two different aspects. It's like the game itself has its own cinematics and stuff, and then you're watching a separate piece of content. It's
Yeah,
like
that is true.
it's like
Good
if you stopped playing a video game and decided to watch a TV show based on your video game.
Yeah, it's a good point. So, yeah, basically that's what's happening. It's like, hey, I want to play a game, and no, you got to watch a cinema now.
Stupid as what it is.
You really can't even call it a cinema because it's not a cinema because it has to do with the storyline of the game, but it really isn't. It's a totally different bit of content. There's actually, you know.
Go ahead, man. Yeah, no, I know what you're saying, but here's my thing, and I'm just gonna cut to the chase. I appreciate that they're trying to do something new, but why can't we just have a regular fucking video game like we've always had?
This isn't new. It's not new.
Okay,
PC games used to do this all the time back then. Fucking Command and Conquer did this, and it was weird then. I love Command and Conquer, but it's weird randomly having a video clip thrown into your video game because.
But Brett, this goes beyond that. It is because Command and Conquer, and I played Command and Conquer. That was like 1 or 2 minute clips. This is literally you play the game and then 20 minutes of a fucking
up to 20 minutes. And it was like, so your big innovation is longer cutscenes? Like, I'm pretty sure Metal Gear already did that, and I'm pretty sure live action cutscenes are not something new. They're something cheap. There's something you do when you don't want to pay a whole bunch of animators.
Here's the thing, though. At the same time, it's not really a cutscene. Because, the game actually has its own in-game cutscenes with Dude against Iceman. So those are in-game cutscenes. This is a show that's based on your game that you're being forced to watch.
That's even dumber. That is even dumber. It's like
actually, you're not being forced to watch. If you're not online, maybe you won't run them.
Wait, if you are online, are you still being forced? Like, will it force you out?
That's my thing. Will they be like, hey, you're not online, you can't play the rest of this game? Well, is that gonna happen?
Well, I mean, even let's say you are online, like, and let's say you beat level 1. Is it gonna force you to watch the level 1?
Good question.
Cutscene, or you have options that no thanks, I just want to play the game. Because if that's the case, I don't really care. I mean, I'm probably
No, the game will be completely off limits without access to the internet. However, Xbox One owners, but not PC owners, will be able to download all the video to their hard drives. It is, however, going to take up a lot of space.
Yeah, that's why they're streaming it, because it is going to take. Because remember, it's 800 minutes worth of a show, basically, you know. Fucking crazy, man.
Yeah,
Can't
the
they-
game will basically cease to function.
Yeah.
Can't they just put it on a separate disc? I don't know.
No, they can't do that. They can't do that. You know, they got to stream it now. Relying on online. Fucking crazy. Brian, anything else, man?
Not on that, but to do with the firmware thing, like, I'm just, like, I'm not even, I'm surprised at how bad this firmware update is, to be fair. I mean,
Would you have a
okay,
problem? What's wrong with it?
okay, the PS3 had all these features at
Most of
launch.
them,
Oh, okay, it's like, I'm sorry, but I can't give Sony, like, any sort of praise for re-adding stuff that they had in the previous generation console 2 years after launching. Like, I'm sorry, but that's unacceptable. Like, you don't get praise from me for re-adding shit that you took out, and I'm just not impressed by that. And the remote play with PC thing, as I think it was no, it wasn't John Shaw. I think it was no, I can't remember his name. Dude on Co-op. He doesn't appear very often. I think it's Fraser. I can't
Oh,
remember his
Anthony,
name.
yeah, Cat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he essentially said that Sony this generation are copying Microsoft, and all I'm saying is I heard news of the Xbox One share play to PC first before this, so hey, are Sony copying Microsoft again? Who knows?
It seems to be working though, right?
I don't know. It looks like it, but yeah,
Oh
yeah.
man.
Yeah, to be honest, again, they haven't given us the shit that we want and we've been shouting about, which is custom soundtracks, because they still haven't just add the ability to play MP3s during gameplay. It cannot be that freaking hard. Honestly, it cannot be. Like, Spotify is fine, but no, I don't want that anymore. It's like I have like a mass loads of MP3s just stood here that I can't use. And I'd love to, because like half the songs aren't even on Spotify, so that's a pain. And the ability to change names, like that's also like another thing that they still haven't given us.
Yep, you can easily switch out your name on Xbox like nothing.
Yeah.
It's just frustrating. It's like they don't seem to be listening to what people have been asking for since before the PS4 even launched, and I just don't know anymore. Like, I seriously just don't know anymore. It's like, where is my PS Plus money going? Like, I would generally just love to know like a breakdown of like my PS Plus subscription costs and
For
like
all
where
those amazing
what is going
PS
where.
Plus games you get for free, Brian.
Yeah, but that can't be all of it though. Like,
Oh,
no
dude,
way
those
it's
blockbuster
all
titles
to
don't
that.
come cheap.
I'm still on the fence that like, yeah, the PS Plus games we recently, I say for the last 6 months, have not been great. To be fair.
Well, Brian,
And
just to correct you for the last year. That's just they've been shit, dude. They've been total fucking shit.
Oh, you're both wrong. You make it almost sound like they just gave us a few high-profile games at the release of the system to make it seem like there was going to be value, and since then have just given us shit-tier indie games that have quote-unquote artistic expression in an effort to make it seem like they're building a robust system, but in fact are just shivving us the customers that have been helping them since the day they launched the system. But no, not that.
Okay. Go on, Brian. Brian, where are you?
Brian quit.
Brian quit. He's like, fuck PS Plus, man. Fuck PS Plus and fuck all of you guys. That's what Brian said.
He's
right,
like, I'm going back to my PC.
Yeah. Right.
Okay, I'm back.
Yeah.
Where did I leave off?
I don't even know anymore, man. You were pissed. But you basically.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I need to find out where my money is going, because it doesn't seem to be going to PSN, because that stuff is still up and down. It doesn't seem to be going to good games, because we haven't got any. It just seems to be going to doing stuff that only Sony knows.
It goes to installing features from the PS3, Brian.
It just annoys me. It's like the PS3 was a really good console. It's like, just copy that, put it in better, like cram in better tech, and that's it. Boom, your PS4. But no, Sony did whatever they did, and I don't know. It's just messed up, I'd say. But that's a whole different story for a whole different day.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so that's about it. So let's wrap it up with a couple of things here. First of all, I want to give a quick shout out to the fans out there. You guys seem to like my Tony's Take videos. I did 3 of those in one fucking day for you guys, man. A lot of shit happening, you know. So I like doing those. It's fun. So I'm glad you guys like them. So I'll bring them to you. But again, I don't force them. You know what I'm saying? If something happens and I like feel that urge, I do it. If not, let it be. You know. But that's good. Look at the fucking the Microsoft one. 1,000 views already. Fucking crazy. I wish Throwdown would get normally those kind of views. Shit. So that's good. And the last thing, obviously, Alex. Once again, man, pimp your shit, man. Your comic.
Yeah. Check out Time Skippers, guys. I'm sure Tony will throw a link in there.
Oh yeah.
Just go to Junkie Monkeys. You'll find it there. And yeah.
And what about your stuff on Junkie Monkeys, man? What do you got anything hot coming for us?
No, I don't got anything like super special coming out soon. Maybe in the near distant future, if that makes sense, but nothing like immediate.
All right. Yeah, you gotta sound more enthusiastic, man. I got shit coming for you in the future, motherfucker. I got you. Oh, man. All right, so let's wrap this shit up. Thank you for watching and listening. Make sure to follow The Coalition at thecoalition.com. Subscribe to Throwdown on SoundCloud, iTunes, and YouTube. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at Throwdown Show and on Facebook. Links are available in the description below. Once again, our show is Tony Polanco, and tonight is joined by Emilio Lopez.
Later, guys.
Brian Manjoma.
I'm pissed I missed episode 73 because 73 is a really awesome number. Because, and, really, it is. It's an awesome number. Because, okay, for one, it's a prime number. And prime numbers are really special because they're really cool. But it's the 21st prime number, and the mirror of 21 is 12, and the 12th prime number is 37, which is the mirror of 73. That's really creepy.
You're such a fucking nerd, man.
Oh, no, totally. It goes even worse than that. What is it? 7 times 3 is 21. Which is its position in the prime number charts. And also, 73 is a palindrome, meaning that in binary term, or if you were to write it out in binary, it'd be the same backwards and forwards, which is 10011001.
You lost me a long time ago.
I was so pissed I missed 73. I was like, yes, 73. I just dropped all these like cool ass bombs about numbers in 73, but no. Yeah, 73 is an awesome number.
A meaningless number, you know?
It's meaningless, but it's awesome in mathematics terms.
Oh, man. Chris Seeley.
Hey, take care, everyone.
Brett Murdoch.
Remember, don't be a Richard.
Yes. And, of course, our boy Alex Nuss.
Yes, of course, as always. Anytime.
Yes, man. Thank you for being on, dude. By the way, episode 75 is next week. We should try to do something special. We'll give a giveaway. I don't know what we're giving away. We'll give away some.
We got some stuff.
We always got shit on.
We'll give away Time Skippers.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. There you go. We can do that. Slide it in there. All right, guys. We'll see you on Throw Down Your Questions Sunday. Later.
Deuces.
Peace.
Later.
See you, people.